He's added that it remains unclear if the drones were deliberately targeting Poland. NATO has promised to reinforce Europe's eastern defences after Poland shot down the drones, marking the first time a NATO member has fired shots during the ongoing war between Russia and Ukraine. Now, Rubio stressed that if the drones were intentionally aimed at Poland, it would be a highly escalatory move. Listen in to what Rubio has said.
Well, there's still a lot of gathering happening. Irrespective, this shouldn't have happened. I don't think anybody's happy about it seeing happen. You saw NATO respond to it appropriately. We don't want to see it happen again. We think it's a unacceptable and unfortunate and dangerous development in this regard. The drones were intentionally launched. There's no doubt about them. Drones were intentionally launched. The question is whether the drones were targeted to go into Poland specifically. If that's the case, that if the evidence leads us there, then obviously that'll be a highly escalatory move. There are a number of other possibilities as well, but I think we'd like to have all the facts and consult with our allies before we make, specific determinations.
Meanwhile, Poland has rejected US President Donald Trump's suggestion that the drone incursions might have been a mistake. The US has called the violations now as alarming and has reaffirmed its commitment to defending NATO territory. Meanwhile, Russia maintains that the drones were not aimed at Poland. We've also, in fact, seen incursions happening in Romania as well. There were 2 F-16s that were then mobilized by NATO allies in order to counter Moscow's drones, but it still remains unclear as to whether Russia was deliberately targeting these NATO countries or not. Still with us on the broadcast is Professor Gunaratna. So, what do you make of these incursions that have been happening as of late? Do you think the war has a possibility to protract from just being one that is being fought between Russia and Ukraine to now NATO members being actively involved and not just tacitly funding it?
The drone attacks were aimed at Ukraine. If the Russians wanted to attack Poland or Romania, they would have used drones directed at specific targets, and those targets would have been struck. So, but certainly there are military errors in these operations. And because the drones violated the airspace of Poland, we have seen that NATO has responded, and we are also seeing that President Trump has issued a statement that it was fired at Ukraine and not at any other country. So I believe that after the Alaska summit, President Trump is determined to meet with President Putin, and President Putin has invited him to Moscow. I believe that this drones issue should not be an obstacle to the larger goal of achieving peace between Russia and Ukraine. So in that spirit and in that light, it is so important for the world not to focus on the drones that were misplaced, but to resolve the bigger dispute. There are bigger drivers between Russia and Ukraine that is persisting this war, that is continuing this war, and those have to be addressed. Only when those are addressed, there will be peace and harmony between Russia and Ukraine.
So with that, I'd like to thank you for taking out time speaking to us on NewsX.